welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Star. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you guys enjoy the content for today. It's been a minute since I've done a story time, and this story time that I'm about to do, I'm gonna switch things up though. I'm gonna do my makeup and I'm gonna tell the story at the same time. We're gonna see how this goes. I've tried to tell this actual story about 3 times on my channel before, and every time I try to record it, there's always a problem. I always get frustrated or angry about the situation because shorty was nuts. But today I'm ready to do it. I did a poll on my Instagram the other day, well yesterday, yeah, the other day, and I asked you guys to choose between 2 stories, my auntie's wig and the fake ass friend story. And ding ding ding, fake ass friend is the winner because y'all are messy and y'all love being mixy. Y'all want to know the tea. I'm gonna show you guys the story. Yeah, so without further ado, let's get into it. So I'm not gonna show all the products that I'm using. I'm going to more than likely just place everything in the description box, so keep that in mind. If you have any questions, feel free to always drop a comment in the comment box. If you're new here and you're enjoying the story as time goes on, feel free to subscribe. No pressure. Just know that I want you to be a part of the family. Okay. Me and Scott were friends for years, and within the last year of our friendship, I want to say, like, she started acting a whole lot different. Maybe she was acting the same and I was now picking up what she was putting down. Because, you know, when people tell you things about other people, about how they observe things, you should listen sometimes. And honestly, I wasn't listening. Like, people was telling me things. She would say things and do things that I didn't really necessarily like. But being myself, like, I don't really like confrontation. I don't like arguments. I don't like that kind of thing. So I, like, would literally leave things alone. And I just felt like she had my best interest at heart, or so I thought. But that was never the case. Honestly, that's how I feel. That was never the case. I feel like she didn't really have my best interest at heart. And I feel like sometimes she moved out of jealousy. Like, it was really awkward to watch. Like, looking back on situations, like, it's really awkward to be like, damn, shorty really did all of this to me. It's crazy. So I used to notice, like, okay, so she had other friends. She would make fun of said friends because, like, she used to do this thing where she would buy bundles, and if she uses her bundles, she would give the bundles away to a friend, basically saying, like, I don't want these no more, but you can have them, that kind of thing. So this, I don't remember what year it was, but I'm gonna just give one specific situation. So me and sis were friends for 10 years, and during the last year of our friendship, she started acting kind of different. Maybe it's to my knowledge, maybe it's not. I'm not necessarily sure how this happened, but she started acting weird and I started picking up on stuff. So case in point, a day my boyfriend and I were arguing, and you know, well, you guys don't know. A day my boyfriend and I were arguing. My mom was there and she was there. We're gonna call her Sophie. So Sophie was there, and my mom has this thing where she doesn't like seeing me or my sister cry. So my boyfriend and I arguing on the phone, and I had started crying. So my mom, being my mom, got emotional, started crying. So me thinking that Sophie's being a good friend, Sophie takes my mom into the back while my boyfriend and I work things out. So I'm like, okay, cool, no problem. Sophie got mommy, everything is good, you feel me? So, or so I thought. So me and a boyfriend, we worked things out eventually, and everything was great again. I went to a game night because she was now talking to this guy. So I went to the game night, and the guy was cool. And he was like, oh, next game night I have, like, you could bring your boyfriend. And I'm like, oh, that'd be cute as hell, like a fake type double date game night type thing. So I'm like, that'd be so cute. That'd be so cute. My boyfriend, my best friend, finally got a man. Finally got somebody she's talking to. This, that, and the third. So a couple weeks pass, and Sophie calls me one night. No, Sophie texted me one night and was like, oh, don't forget game night is coming up. And I was like, oh, text my boyfriend, let him know that we're having game night still. She goes, oh, about that, I think you should speak to Rob. That's what we're gonna call him. So I'm like, okay, cool, no problem. I hit up Rob and Rob goes, I don't want your little boyfriend there after seeing your mom cry on FaceTime. Excuse me? After seeing your mom cry on FaceTime. So in my head, I'm like, what you mean my mother crying on FaceTime? So I'm thinking back and I'm like, the only way he could have seen my mom cry on FaceTime was the day that me and my boyfriend got into an argument and she took my mom in her room. Now, here's the thing that really bothers me. My mom has 7 sisters, well, 6 or 7 sisters, and a brother. If it was anybody you could have called to speak to her, it could have been one of them. Or you could have put her on the phone with your mom because our moms were cool with each other. Me and best friend literally lived 2 blocks away from each other. Literally 2 blocks. Keep that in mind. So I'm like, okay. Picked up the phone, called Sophie. I'm like, hey. She's like, hey, what's up, best friend? And I'm like, why did Robert tell me that he saw my mom cry on FaceTime? She got dumb quiet. Dumb quiet, bro. Dumb quiet. I said, Sophie? I was like, what did Robert mean when he said he saw my mom cry on FaceTime? She was like, Star, it's not even that serious. Just leave it alone. It happened already. I'm like, the freak you mean it happened already? I'm like, why would you put my mother on the phone with a guy that she's never met? Because my mom, she knew her ex-boyfriend. She didn't know this new guy that she was talking to. So I was really, really confused. She's like, Star, that shit happened already. Let it go. So I'm like, oh, okay. A couple weeks later, we were supposed to go to Reggae Fest. This is when they used to have Reggae Fest at BB King's in Times Square. So we're supposed to go and I already paid $30 for my ticket, and my sister bought a ticket too, and I was like, yeah, bro, I'm not going. She was like, nah, Star, F that, you gotta go. You bought your ticket already, like, you have to go. I'm like, nah, bro, it's okay. Y'all could go have a good time. I'm Gucci. So my sister was not trying to have it. She was like, no, Star. I was like, bro, give one of your friends my ticket and I'm fine. She was not letting that happen. So I ended up going to Reggae Fest. Thing about me, I'm super punctual. Like, I'm always on time. I'm that friend. If you tell me be there at 8 o'clock, I'm there at 7:30, 7:45. So we were on the line, and for Reggae Fest, the line was always long. So I'm like, okay, I'm on the line. I let Sophie know that I'm online. Some of our other friends were supposed to be coming. Some of her friends from college were supposed to be coming. All this stuff. I'm like, all right, cool, no problem. So we on the line. Sophie gets there. Apparently her and her friends knew the bouncer at the door. So they get inside, and they don't even try to get me or my sister and my sister's friend off the line. So we here standing in this long ass line while my best friend's inside, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. First things, I didn't even want to come to this stupid Reggae Fest anymore. It's not that I didn't want to go because of her. I just was not in the mood for it. Like, so many things were going on in my personal life. Me and her weren't really on good terms because it's like, you had my mom vulnerable and in a vulnerable moment with a stranger. So we finally get inside, and we spent like 2 hours looking for Sophie and the rest of our friends. So we find Sophie. She's standing on the other side. It was so many bodies in there, bro. Like, we literally had to fight to get to the other side. Like, that's how bad it was. So I'm like, my sister and I get over there, and I'm like, bro, at the end of the day, nobody else needs to know that me and Sophie having issues, because if we best friends, that's our business. That's not nobody else's business. So when we got over there, I greeted Sophie like everything was Gucci. In the back of my head, I'm like, yo, we gotta talk sooner or later before she goes back to school, because it's summertime. We gotta talk before she goes back to school. So I'm over here having a good time, dancing or whatever. I'm West Indian, so I don't know how anybody else operates, but I have this thing where in the past, like, I'm West Indian, a dance to me don't mean nothing, bro. Literally don't mean nothing. I know it may mean stuff to other people, but to me, nah, bro. You can get your little 1-2 wine and that's it. Like, that's it. I'm never gonna talk to you again. I'm not giving you my number. It's literally just a dance. So we at Reggae Fest. Mind you, my man knew where I was going. So we at Reggae Fest and I'm doing my little wine, you know, bend over, touch toe. Nah, I'm not doing all of that, but I'm just saying, like, my little wine. So I'm dancing or whatever with randoms, whoever coming up behind me. Like, if you got rhythm, I'll dance with you. Back then. So I'm doing my little 1-2 1 or whatever. And at one point, Sophie pulls me to the side and was like, yo, Star, you out here dancing with these guys, like, you don't think your boyfriend gonna be upset? I'm like, one, my boyfriend knows where I am. We talked about where I was going. He told me to have my fun, but don't disrespect our relationship. And I was like, I bet. I've never been the type of girl anyway to be doing the most at a party. Like, I'll dance with you, but that's it. Like, anybody who know me could vouch for that. That's a fact. So I'm not the girl who's gonna let guys lift me up at the party. None of that. That's extra to me. So she's like, yeah, but you're in a relationship. Mind you, me and sis been friends since middle school. When she was in her relationship with her ex-man, sis was at parties wilding out. Or sometimes she wouldn't even dance. So I guess it depended on who she was around or what type of mood it was. I don't know. But I'm like, nah, my man know where I am. He told me I could have fun or whatever. Not that I needed his permission. I was going to have fun regardless. But I'm just saying, like, have fun within a respectful realm. And she's like, yeah, no, you shouldn't be dancing. I'm like, Sophie, it's okay. It's okay. I spoke to him. He knows where I am. He knows what's going on. If anything happens, he can pull up. Like, it's okay. So now Sophie have an attitude because she's like, well, I feel like you're doing something wrong. And I'm like, girl, it's okay. Have fun. So now we get drinks or whatever. And the one thing about Sophie, sis is a lightweight. She can't really handle her liquor, and she don't even drink hard liquor like that. Like, she's a wine mommy. Wine is fire though. She's a wine mommy. So I'm like, okay. That wine get into her system. Sis started wilding out. She was dancing between two guys. She was doing a lot. And I'm like, you know what? Have your fun, bro. But the thing that I always knew about her, like, she likes when the attention is on her. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you go to a party, she wants guys and she wants people to see that she's dancing, that she's having a good time. So Sophie is wildin', bro. I don't know till this day if she knew that she was wildin' at this party, but Sophie was wildin'. Let her rock, let her have her fun. At one point, I had just stopped dancing altogether. I moved my mirror so I can see better now. At one point, I just stopped dancing altogether because I'm like, yeah, no, sis is doing too much. Let me just make sure that she's okay, you know? So time starts going on, and Reggae Fest usually used to end like 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't even know if we have, well, it's COVID now, but I can't remember the last time there was a Reggae Fest. So it gets to like maybe 3 o'clock, 2:30, 3 o'clock, and my sister's friend goes, it's time for me to go. I gotta call my Uber so I can get back to the Bronx. And we're like, okay, let's go outside so we can call the Ubers, and then we'll all just go home from there. Because honestly, it was late, and around that time, trains really do run hourly. So if we came out at 3 o'clock from the party, waiting on the A train from Times Square, we would literally not get on that train until after 4 in the morning. So we outside, and she's calling her Uber, and honestly, truthfully, her Uber canceled on her about 3 times. 3 times the Uber canceled on her. So now Sophie in the corner with our other friends. It was, let me give them all names. She's in the corner with Amber, Ashley, Angie, and Evelyn. And she's like going off. She's like, I want to go home. I'm so tired. I got church in the morning. All of this stuff. I've known Sophie since the 6th grade. Sophie don't go to church. The only time Sophie used to go to church was when her grandmother used to take her. And that wasn't very often, you know? So when she says she has church, I'm like,
you got church?
I'm not trying to be funny, but like, that was a real question, because like, I feel like if she had started back going to church, maybe she would have told me, because I'm more so the religious friend, you get what I'm saying? So she took offense to that. She was like,
what, I can't go to church?
I was like, bro, I never said that. I said, I'm just like shocked but happy at the same time that you're going to church. She said, yeah, I'm going to church. Her friend Evelyn was gonna go to church with her friend Evelyn, and I'm like, oh, okay, no problem or whatever. And they kept on saying, she was like, I'm so tired, I just want to go. I was like, honestly, you guys can go. I'll stay with my sister and make sure her friend gets in the Uber safely. It's okay. One of the other friends, I can't remember the names I just said, but one of the other friends was like, no, we're gonna wait. We all came together. We should go home together. Mind you, they was in the club for 2 hours and we couldn't find them, but we all came together. So I'm like, all right, cool, no problem, thank you. My sister friend calls a Uber again. The Uber finally comes. No, the Uber's on its way, and Sophie starts complaining again. I was like, honestly, guys, just take Sophie home, because like Sophie started getting like nauseous or whatever. I guess that wine was really hitting, you feel me? So I'm like, just take her home. It's okay. I'll let you guys know when we get home. You guys can let us know when y'all get home. So as soon as, not even 5 minutes after them walking into the train station, did my sister's friend Uber pull up. So she gets into her Uber, and I turned to my sister. I was like, bro, I promise you, when we get in that train station, 10 to 1, they still sitting there and waiting on the train. Like, y'all did all, she did all this rah-rah when we could have all just went home together. And honestly, looking back, I feel as though it was a guilty conscience making her act that way, because she knew she was wrong for having my mother on the phone with that new boy she was talking to. So we get to the train station. Exactly what I said is exactly what it was. So get to the train station. I turned to my sister. I said, they wanted to leave bad. They could go by themselves. We're gonna walk to where we need to be on the train. And on the A train, we needed to be all the way at the front, because we had to get off at Broadway Junction to catch the J train, sorry. You had to be in the front of the A train to catch the J train. So we walked to the front. I see Sophie throwing up, this, that, and the third. And in my head, like, thinking back now, I was really being petty, because I could have stopped to make sure she was okay. But Sophie was throwing up, and in my head, I justified it by saying, you know what? They wanted to leave so bad, Sophie could stay there by herself, and she'll be okay. She got Evelyn, Evie, Tangy, and all of them to take care of her. Like, they'll be fine. And I just yelled at, yo, just let me know when y'all get home, please. Literally just said that, and honestly, that sounds so crazy now, but that's dead what I said to them. And honestly, they probably thought I was a nutcase. Nobody ever texted me to tell me that they got home, and I started back school. Now, here's where things get kind of wonky. So I start back school, and I've been in school this whole time, my bad. Been in school this whole time. I was in cosmetology school at this point. So about maybe 3 weeks later, Sophie had left to go back to school. And she usually, like, she spends the night at my house the weekend before she goes back to school. That's what she used to do. She didn't do that this time. Like, did not hear from her, never saw her, nothing. So I'm like, okay. The whole time though, after the Reggae Fest incident, all she was doing was watching my stories. That's it. Watching my stories. Not commenting on nothing, just watching. Like, I would post a story, it wouldn't even be up for 10 seconds, and Sophie would have been the first one to watch it. I had since stopped watching her stories, because I'm like, you acting weird with me for no reason. I don't do the weirdo energy. Like, all you had to do was talk to me. All you had to do was apologize, to be honest, because why would you think it's okay to have my mom on the phone with a strange guy? You get what I'm saying? So, and she already felt like she had nothing to apologize for. Like, her literal words were, "Sorry, that shit happened already. Get over it." I kept that in the back of my mind. I promise you I did. So a day I was in school, I really like took my time on my break, posted on my Snapchat. This was when I was on Snapchat heavy. I can't remember the last time that I used Snapchat, to be honest. So This is when I was really on Snapchat. I posted on my story. I was like, yo, I can't remember the last time I spoke to my best friend. You know, shorty watched my story and never hit me up. And I had spoke to my boyfriend and I told him, my boyfriend's the type of person that doesn't like conflict. He doesn't like to see people not getting along. He don't like to see argument. Even if it's not about him, or even if it is about him, he's not confrontational. So she turned around, well, he turned around, unbeknownst to me, he turned around and reached out to Sophie and told her, I don't know if you're mad at Star because of me, but I would appreciate if you left me out of it and talked to your friend. He said, his exact words were, death is real, y'all don't understand. So I'm like, okay, I didn't know about this. And a little before school class was done for the evening, he texted me and told me that he had spoke to Sophie. Sent me screenshots and everything, okay? So I'm like, okay, cool. Now, the type of person I am, if somebody comes to me, even if it's a situation about me and somebody comes to me and tells me something, when the person who I have the direct conflict with hits me up, I'm not letting them know that the person that they conflicted with spoke to me already, because in my honest opinion, I don't feel like it concerns them, because if somebody chooses to speak to me, that's their personal choice. So class lets out, I read the messages, and I'm really like dumbfounded because sis really thought that my boyfriend had threatened her life. She took the death is real, y'all don't understand statement and ran with it. So I'm like, she asked him, she was like, is that a threat? And he didn't respond to her, because it's like, bro, how is that a threat? Basically what he was saying was, life is short. Why waste your time arguing with somebody that you love when y'all could patch up whatever disagreement it is that y'all are having? But she didn't see it that way. So I get home, and as I'm about to tell my mom about the situation, her phone rings. So my mom was like, T, answer the phone. That's what my mom calls me. My mom calls me T. She goes, T, answer the phone. So I answer the phone, and it's Sophie's mom. I was shocked, because I could really count on one hand how many times Sophie and my mom have really spoken on the phone. Not saying it's a bad thing or was a bad thing. They rarely spoke on the phone. You feel me? Like, Sophie's mom would come to the house, we would all sit down and talk or whatever. But, like, outside of that, they really spoke on the phone very, like, rarely. So I answer the phone. I'm like, hi, good night. Who am I speaking with?
It's Sophie's mother. Put your mother on the phone.
I'm so weak right now. I'm sorry. I was like, huh? I was like, who am I speaking with? It's Sophie's mother. Put your mother on the phone. So I muted the phone and I said, Mommy, exactly what I was about to tell you about is exactly whose parent is on the phone. So my mom was like, okay, pass me the phone. So I turned around and I passed Mommy the phone. She took it off mute and she said, hey, Shirley. That's what we're going to call her. She said, hey, Shirley, what's up? Shirley cussed my mother stink. My mother didn't even know what was going on. Then she notified my mother that her and Sophie had put a hit out on my boyfriend and that he needed to watch his back. At this point, I felt as though everything had escalated, and it didn't even need to get that far, because honestly the situation was never that deep. Had Sophie spoke to me, had I called her directly while I was on break, honestly, possibly this could have been avoided. But I feel as though everything happens for a reason. Here's why. So I turn around and I'm heated. Remember, I told y'all, keep in mind, Sophie lived 2 blocks away from me. I walked out of my mom's room. My little sister was in high school at the time still. Yes, she was. So I'm lacing up my sneakers. I'm putting on my sweats. I'm ready to go. I was about to walk 2 blocks to go fight Sophie's mom. I'm not gonna hold you. I was really ready, because I'm very protective when it comes to my mother, and the fact that I'm hearing somebody who is 10-15 years my mother's junior, like she's younger than my mom, talk to my mom crazy, was a problem for me. So I'm over here lacing on my sneakers, putting on my sweats, about to leave the house. My sister was like, no, Star, you need to calm down, sit down, breathe, relax. So I'm like, all right. I sat down, and Sophie's mom and my mom still on the phone talking, and in my head I'm like, what the freak y'all gotta talk about still for? You feel me? Like, get off the phone with her. Stop talking to her. This lady is disrespecting you. Disrespecting you for no reason at all. Because her sister wants to be disrespectful. Her daughter wants to be disrespectful and have people's moms on phones with strangers. Like, I don't get it. So I ended up going into my mom's room, taking the phone from her and hanging up, because it's like, y'all not about to talk to my mom like that. So I sit down. She tells my mom before I hung up the phone, she tells my mom, yeah, when Sophie's done studying, she's gonna give Star a call and they're gonna talk about this. So mom was like, okay. I sat down in the living room. I was shaking. I was seething in anger, bro. I was so mad. So I sat there for maybe like 15 minutes. Cause now I'm really confused. Like, why would your mother ever think it's okay to call my mom and talk to my mom like that? Like, wait. So I waited 15 minutes, and then I turned around, picked up the phone, and I called Sophie. Because I need you to explain a couple things to me, mommy. Like, I need you to explain it to me. Like, what's going on? So she answered the phone and she's like, hello. She's like, hello. I was like, hey, Sophie. Your mom just called my mom and she cursed my mom out. She called her all kinds of bitches, and I'm really, really confused. Like, what's going on? She was like, I'm studying right now. I can't really talk to you about that. I'm gonna have to call you back. I said, no. I don't really care about you studying right now because your mother called my mom and disrespected my mom. Sophie had an attitude, and she's like, well, Star, I'm studying for a test. I'll call your mother back. I said, no. We're going to talk now. We're gonna talk today. So she sits down and we're on FaceTime. I didn't regular call her. I FaceTimed her because certain conversations for me personally, like, I feel as though we need to talk face to face. That's literally how I feel about certain things. So we're on FaceTime. She's giving me attitude. It's giving upset. It's giving guilt. It's giving I jumped to conclusions. That's what it was really giving. But I sat there and I listened to her, and she started yelling at me. And a pet peeve that I have is being yelled at. I don't like or appreciate when individuals raise their voice at me. It gets me very heated. It gets me very hot. And at times I've really worked on this, but there are times where I have been quick to anger, and you're not gonna talk to me crazy. Like, I was really the friend. I'm just giving a sidebar, like how I was before. I was really the friend. Like, if we're arguing, if we're beefing, I'll pull up to your house because we're gonna talk this out in person. I'm gonna give you the same kind of energy, 25-8 kind of friend. So Sophie's giving anger, she's giving I'm upset, she's giving I don't want to talk to you type of vibes. And I'm here like, Sophie, talk it out, baby girl, talk it out. Don't talk to me like that. And I keep telling her, lower her voice. Sophie did not lower her voice. Sophie kept getting louder and louder and louder with me. And at one point I blacked. I was like, yo, lower your effing voice. And I'm not really much of a cursor. I only curse when I'm angry. That's a fact. So when I say that now, Sophie's taken aback because she's like, oh, starts cursing. Yeah, I'm cursing because you're talking to me crazy, bro. So she's taken aback. And I'm already irritated because I'm like, I sat here and I listened to your mom speak to my mom crazy, and that's not going to be a pattern between you and I. Like, your mom did it, but you're not gonna do it. So I sat there and I'm talking to Sophie. I'm really trying to understand her perspective, what exactly it was that happened, what transpired, why she's upset. I had already heard my boyfriend's point of view, his perspective on what transpired. I already read the messages, but I felt as though I didn't have to give that information to Sophie. Like, she didn't need to be privy to all of that. Not saying that I was being one-sided or that I was taking one person's side. I just wanted, I was being biased. I was ultimately being biased in my own situation. So I'm basically trying to see what her side is, because there's a saying that says there's two sides or three sides to a story. Your side, my side, and the truth. It's three sides to a story. Your side, my side, and the truth. And I feel as though if I heard my boyfriend's perspective and I read the conversation, I could have possibly read the conversation in a tone where it wasn't even the tone of the conversation. Like, have you ever read a text message in a tone and that's the complete opposite way the person was trying to imply something or to state something? It was that kind of thing. So like, I do this thing where I read text messages in different tones to see if it fits the context of the conversation. I'm a weirdo. I'm a Virgo. So maybe it's a Virgo thing. We don't know. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, so what exactly happened? Like, what did my boyfriend say? What went wrong? Like, what's going on? He threatened me. That's all she kept on saying. He threatened me. And I'm like, baby girl, how did my boyfriend threaten you? What did he say? What did he do? And she was like, he basically threatened my life. I said, but how did he threaten your life? She was like, he told me death is real. Y'all don't understand. She was like, that's a threat on my block. And I was like, no, no, no. I was like, that basically means you never know when you're going to speak to somebody or see them for the last time. Why waste your time arguing? So she turns around and goes, oh, so you already know the situation. I said, no, no, no. I need to understand why your mom called my mom and cursed her out. Because my mom doesn't know anything that's going on. And I find it completely disrespectful for your mom to pick up the phone and call somebody's house, somebody who's older than her, mind you, and talk to them the way your mother talked to my mom. And she's like, no, 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 you know the situation. And at this point, I'm like, you know, I'm not going to lie, because I feel as though you ultimately can't get somebody to be honest with you if you lie to them. So I'm like, well, I was made aware that he was reaching out to you. I said, I don't know the context of your conversation, but I did know that he said that he was going to reach out to you. So she's like, oh, so you plotted this, you're a part of this, And I was like, I'm not a part of anything. I said, I literally posted on my Snapchat story. I can't remember the last time I spoke to my best friend. I said, are you not my best friend? I was like, I'm not understanding. She was like, if you want to deal with that BS and those lies, be my guest. And I was like, what BS and what lies? I was like, that's literally a saying. Like, I've heard that saying before. She wasn't trying to hear it. She's like, if you want to accept that bullshit, you can. And I'm like, girl, what are you talking about? Like, what bullshit? Like, what? So I'm like, I need you to stop talking to me crazy. I was like, I need you to lower your voice, because she was, again, raising her voice at me. Shorty caught an attitude, started cussing at me, and I started blacking. Like, I have a short fuse. I had a short fuse. I haven't been that angry in a very long time. I had a short fuse. And it got so bad to the point my little sister came into the living room where we were talking on the phone, poured a glass of water on me, took the phone, and told Sophie that I was going to call her back when I calmed down. And Sophie was like, yeah, she needs to calm down. Girl, I would really get on a bus and come to your school because I know you're away. So, turned around, calmed down or whatever, called her back. When I called her back, she still had given me attitude. And I'm like, I'm not speaking to you aggressively. I'm not coming at you crazy. I just want to understand what exactly happened. And she's still giving attitude. Still. Like, I did something to her. And I just wanted to understand why she was so upset. I'm not taking away or diminishing from her feelings. Like, I genuinely wanted to know what it was that my boyfriend said that got her so upset. So, she turns around now and she was like, I don't have to accept that. I don't gotta accept that. Nobody talks to me like that. And I'm like, nobody's talking to you any kind of way I'm speaking to you. Like, are we not friends? Am I some random person from the streets? Like, you're treating me crazy right now. You're treating me like I'm the enemy when I did absolutely nothing to you. I just want to know what happened. That's it. I just want to know what happened. She catching an attitude, and the conversation, like, it just ended up being a dead end right there. Like, the conversation didn't really carry on for that long. She was like, well, I gotta go study for midterms, I'll talk to you later, this, that, and the third. This was like still August. It wasn't even September yet. This was my 21st birthday. Yes, it was my 21st birthday. So turn around, birthday comes, my boyfriend does stuff for me, she watching my story still, and she texted me, and her text message was so like condescending, and she was like, I'm so happy you decided to celebrate your birthday this year, hope it was great, bye. Anybody who knows me knows that I'm not really a fan of my birthday. That's not why I'm saying it was condescending. It's just I know the type of person she is, and I know how she says things. And if anybody who out there is still friends with her and you guys watch my story, just know that this is not coming from a place of anger or hate. At this point in my life, I'm very indifferent. I'm not mad at her. I'm generally not mad at her. It's just that she wasn't really a great friend to me. So, time passes after my birthday. She's still watching my stories. Heavy. And around New Year's comes. This is where stuff gets funny. New Year's comes and she's out with her friends, getting lit at somebody's house, drinking her wine, you know, big drink, drinking her wine or whatever, having a good time. And I was in the car with my friends at the time. I don't even know if I'm still friends with this person, but we were friends at the time, and we were on our way to a New Year party. And wow, God bless to all the people who watch this. God bless if actual people watch this, that I'm talking about watches this. But I'm on my way to a party. I happened to stumble across her Snapchat story. I was watching a friend's story, and then it actually turned around and went to her story, and I hadn't watched her story since maybe months prior. I want to say around my birthday time was the last time I probably watched her story, and that was what, September. So I hadn't watched the story in a minute. So I turned around, and I'm on my way to this New Year's party, and I watched her story. She's having a jolly good time with her friends, and a minute after I watched her story refreshed, and it was a black screen. So I turned around and I watched that story as well, and she basically throwed subs about me and my boyfriend on her story. She, like, some of them were, how you let an N-word with no car drive you crazy, oh, girls really be fiending for boyfriends, that kind of thing. And in my head, I'm like, girl, are you talking about me? I'm not just saying that or doing that because, like, I wanted to have malice or animosity towards her. That's not it. And it's not a, oh, if the shoe fit type of situation. Like, she said some pretty, besides those two, but she said some pretty direct things that only I knew what she was talking about, because she had no other friends who was dealing with the type of stuff that I was dealing with at the time. So that was a pretty direct comment for her to make, amongst other things. So I'm not even going to go into the other stuff that she said. So I turned around, I let it alone, because I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of lit right now. I'm a little dressed, a little schmiz. So I'm not even going to say nothing to her. I'm going to just let her rock out. And if it's still up there in the morning, I'll either make a PSA or I'll address her. If I could find the PSA, I might post this on my Instagram or post it in here, because a girl have the receipts. I always have my receipts. So I just I left it alone. I didn't say nothing to her. I didn't mention nothing. But she posted like 5 subs back to back. And I'm here like, wow, sister girl is really going off. Like, she said that with her chest. She definitely said it with her chest. So I enjoyed my night at the party. Next morning I wake up getting ready for work, because I had to work on New Year's Day. I go back to her story, I watched it again, and everything was still there. Everything was there. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I didn't give her the benefit of the doubt. I didn't hit her up directly, nothing like that. I turned around and I made a PS freaking C, a PS freaking A on my story. So I basically said, it's funny how people have so much to say and they live 2 blocks away from you but can't even say, yo, can we go out to talk? I really need to talk to you. Can we go out for food? Can we meet up? We just gotta talk. We gotta clear the air. Nothing like that. Like, people was really moving funny like we was on Love and Hip Hop. That's really the type of vibes it was giving. Like, it was really giving Love and Hip Hop, I'm living for the drama kind of vibes. So I put my PSA out. Her friends, I like to call them minions, because they honestly work on her timing. They do what she wants them to do. They listen to her. If she don't want them to be friends with people, the friendship done off. So her friends, because I was friends with those people too, but they were her friends now. Her friends turned around, I'm guessing they watched my story and then told her to go watch the story. I don't know, but they watched my story, and inevitably she ended up watching my story. Like, honestly, truthfully, I'm not gonna lie to you, I think that I really fessed this up bad in that PSA. I didn't call her out, but people who knew who she was knew. And I think I mentioned best friend, and at that time everybody knew exactly who my best friend was. I don't do the social media drama. I don't do the social media beef. I don't do nothing like that. I really keep to myself and mind my own business. So the fact that I had to get on Snapchat and make a PSA, because that was my larger platform at the time, was nuts. So people hit me up like, yo, are you good? I'm not answering, because I'm not gonna give in to the messy vibes. Like, y'all see what the type of time was. You saw what I said. If you watched her story, if you knew who she was, and you saw what she said, you knew the type of timing I was on. You knew that I wasn't coming crazy or anything. So honestly, I don't do my makeup like this anymore. I don't know why I put foundation all over my face. So I just left it alone. Literally just left it alone. So sis, now I'm at work, and I worked a triple that day. People had called out. I was working in retail. People had called out, so my boss was like, Star, I know you getting time and a half today, but do you want to work a full day? And bro, I went into work for 7 o'clock in the morning. Do you want to work a full day, like work from 7 to 8 p.m.? Honestly, there had to be some law against that. Like, I probably wasn't supposed to be working that shift, but I did it. So I was like, yeah, I'll do it, whatever. I ended up getting 3 breaks that day, because if you're working that long, you gotta have some long ass breaks. So this big ass sponge. So I turned around, I did the shifts, and on one of my breaks, I went to the bathroom and I checked my phone, and Sophie had messaged me. If I could find the messages from Sophie, I would put them right here so you guys can read it. But yeah, that was the conversation with her, and like, sis was really in her bag. So she said all of that to say, and while I was at work, my manager had called me, so I never got to finish the conversation with her. And if you could see the last message on the bottom, that was the last thing I said to her. It never went through because she blocked me because I guess I took too long, or she thought that I was leaving her on red, because I did read the message, but my manager came and called me and I had to go right away. So she blocked me. From then on, I just let it rock. She blocked me on all forms of social media. I'm like, okay, cool. I mean, to me, I took it as, okay, sis was never really my friend. That's one. And two, like, it has to be guilt eating away at your conscience, because how could you do that to somebody that you call a friend? It didn't make sense. It didn't add up to me. So I just left her as is, and I continued on with my life, you know? But here's how she continued, like, she continued to pop up in various ways. Like, I remember one time her ex had posted a picture of them on his Instagram. Mind you, they've been broken up for some years. And he tagged me in it, and the caption was something crazy. I'm not even gonna repeat that on here, but the caption was something crazy, and I said, nah bro, don't include me in that. That's not my business. I don't got nothing to say. This other girl that we were friends with saw it. Mind you, the girl who saw it, we were best friends all through middle school. Like, that was my rod, bro. That was my ROD. Sis was my ride or die, dead ass. And she basically, like, I guess she took sides, and I had peeped that she had unfollowed me on Instagram. And in my head, I'm like, Lord, what trouble is this? Like, why sis unfollowed me on Instagram? What did I do to her? So I hit her up. Because, like, honestly, to me, it's like, if we're friends, I feel like communication is very important. Even in my relationship, I always say that, like, communication is super important. If you feel like somebody did something, talk it out with them. It wasn't no funny movements. I was never moving funny style, because even after me and sis stopped being friends, I never, like, talked about her, bashed her, nothing on the internet. There's people I'm not friends with anymore, and people will never know that I'm not friends with these people. Why? Because I keep my business on a need to know. If you don't need to know, you're not gonna know. So sis was upset. She unfollowed me, and I texted. I was like, hey Evelyn, like, why did you block me? Never responded. Called her, nothing. Then I peeped that she blocked me on Facebook. So I'm like, nah, something really had to have happened for Evelyn to block me like this. And nothing. So every summer, her mom used to have these cookouts, because they're Southern. Her mom used to have these cookouts, and everybody would be at Evelyn's crib, bro. Everybody. This is basically, y'all basically getting two stories in one, but the stories are connected to each other. So every summer, Evelyn's mother would have a cookout at the crib, and everybody would be over there having fun in the backyard. Like, Evelyn even had birthday parties in the backyard. Like, everything was lit, everything was a go. And all of a sudden, you blocked me out of nowhere for no reason. Like, I was really confused. I didn't know what was going on. So I turned around and I was like, you know what? Mom always allowed me to come in the crib. I always pop up to visit to say hi if I'm over there. Another friend who literally lived up the block from me. Like, I lived in walking distance of most of my friends. So I went to the house, and this right here is hilarious. Like, nobody ever believes me when I say this, but I get to the house. All the lights, they lived in a brownstone. All the lights in the house were on. I rang the doorbell. The house got mad quiet. People was playing games. I heard TV. There was music playing. I ring the doorbell. The house got mad quiet. Nobody came downstairs. Nobody checked the door. Nobody did anything. So I ring the doorbell again. All the lights in the house turned off. All the lights in the house turned off, bro. So I'm sitting there like, what trouble is this? Like, what the hell? What's going on? Why are they acting like this? So then I ring the doorbell again, and Evelyn's oldest sister comes outside and opens the door. Evelyn's older sister is a grown woman, okay? So I was, what, 21 at the time? Evelyn's sister had to have been like in her 40s. That lady was grown. So came downstairs, opened the door. I'm like, hi, Miss Miranda. is Evelyn home? I want to talk to her. She was like, does Evelyn know you're here? And when she said that in my head, I'm like, oh, that mean Evelyn said something to them, or Evelyn told them, like, if Star pop up, because see, they knew I was with the pop-ups. If Star pop up, don't open the door for her. So I'm like, no, she doesn't know I'm here. I was like, but I've been calling her and she hasn't been answering the phone, so like I really want to talk to her. So she was like, give me a second. She goes inside and Evelyn comes to the door. First thing she comes to the door, she was like, why are you here? I was like, hi, Evelyn. And she was like, why are you here, Star? I said, I just want to understand what's going on. She said, but why are you at my front door? I said, because I'm confused. Like, why are you acting this way with me? Like, I have no problem with you. So now sis goes ahead and says, it's because you're a fake friend. I said, how am I a fake friend? She said, you still talking to Sophie's exes. You still friends with them after how they did her. See, the thing with Sophie is, Sophie never told people the truth or told people the full story about situations, because I know why her and the boyfriend relationship mashed up. Like, she lied to everybody else, didn't tell everybody the truth, and it's not my business to tell, so I'm not even gonna air that out on here because I'm not messy. But it was not the boyfriend's fault why they broke up. That's all I'm gonna say. It wasn't his fault alone why they broke up. That's what I'm gonna say. So in my head, I'm like, I don't know what Sophie told y'all, but that got nothing to do with me. Like, I have nothing to do with that. She was like, oh, you were on Instagram being funny in the comments. I said, actually, if you read the comments, I said, that's not my business. I'm not getting into that. I have nothing to say. Me saying I have nothing to say is not me moving funny style. That's me saying, you're not dragging me in a drama. I got nothing to say, bro. So she was like, nah, I just feel like that's fake. Like, how you gonna do that? And y'all was friends for so long. I said, girl, I didn't do nothing. Like, what? She said, I just feel like you were never a real friend to her. Mind you, me and Evelyn, we were friends. We were literally friends in 6th grade. Main reason why we became friends is because, what's her name? Sophie was super mean to her. They used to call her bullhead. They called her Baldina, bro. That was dead ass her nickname in middle school. They dead called Evelyn Baldina because Evelyn's hair wasn't growing. And honestly, truthfully, like, you don't make fun of people like that. You don't know what health issues the person's having. You don't do stuff like that. They would call her Baldina. They would make fun of her because she always had her hair in this one hairstyle. Like, when I say kids are ruthless, kids are literally ruthless, bro. So turned around and I'm like, it's crazy how you're friends with her when this girl dead used to make fun of you when we were kids. I was like, I'm not bringing this up to like kind of justify myself or anything. I was like, but it's really crazy. Like, y'all really fiend for this girl's attention. Like, it didn't make sense. I was like, if I said something crazy, I could own up to that. I could admit that. I was like, but I didn't say nothing crazy. Like, I let her alone. I didn't even comment back on the thing. After I said what I said, my bro turned around, her ex, my bro, turned around, because that's still my bro from my bro till this day, turned around and he deleted the post because he was like, you know what, you're right, Star. I'm not gonna take stuff to social media. And that's the bottom line. Like, any outs you have with people, you don't need to drag it on the internet. People live for the drama. People don't even like you for real. They just want to be in your business and know your drama, what's going on with you. So I'm like, so you're mean to tell me that you mad because I said that? I said, bro, that's it. She said, no, you're just a bad friend. You shouldn't even be friends with them anymore. I said, first of all, nobody could tell me who I can and can't be friends with. That's one thing my mom taught me. Do not let anybody dictate to you who you can and can't be friends with. Because if that person didn't do nothing to me, and if I know the truth and the reason behind why people are not together anymore, or why people are not cool anymore, that's their business. That got nothing to do with me. So I left it there. I turned around and I'm like, so you're really about to throw away 10 years plus of friendship because you think that I was being shady towards sis? She said, absolutely. I'm like, okay. I was like, honestly, I wish you the best, because I never do ill wishes on people. I said, honestly, I wish you the best. And she was like, Star, get the F out of my gate or whatever. And I was like, you know what? F you too then, bro. Like, I cursed her back. And I slammed her gate on my way out. Am I proud of that? No, because I shouldn't have did that. Like, you should never allow somebody to take you out of character, to change your attitude or outlook on anything. Don't let people take you out your character, bro. People will love to see you not act the way you normally act. So I turned around and I left. And that was that. Last summer, Sophie reached out to me. No, that's not how it happened. Shit, I forgot. And my Virgo brain don't forget nothing. So I remember last year I was talking to my other two best friends that I have. I don't have a lot of best friends. Honestly, I wouldn't even call them best friends. Those are my sisters. I was talking to my sisters, and last year would have made 10 years since we graduated from middle school. And I was like, yo, we should dead have a reunion or something. And they're like, Star, are you down with that? Even though you and Sophie not friends no more? I said, I don't care about that. I said, I can go somewhere and still be cordial with somebody, bro. We don't have to be friends for me to be cordial with the person. They was like, wow, Star, is that you? I'm like, yeah. I don't have to be your friend to be cordial with you. They was like, so you don't think you want to talk to Sophie before the gathering? I said, I don't feel like it's necessary. I was like, but if she wants to talk, we could talk. So they're like, all right, okay. I put the little bug out in the atmosphere because I posted something on my Instagram story. I had posted a picture of all of us out at dinner one time after we graduated from high school. Was it high school? High school or middle school? I can't remember. But we're out for dinner. I was like, yo, we should really have a reunion. Like, seriously, have a reunion. So one of her I'm trying to be nice. One of her friends, I'm guessing, saw it and shared my post. Share the post because I saw Evelyn and I saw Sophie watch my Instagram story, and they don't even follow me on social media. I didn't even know Sophie's Instagram anymore. Like, she used to change her name so frequently, so I didn't know her new Instagram name, and I never searched for it, to be honest. Like, if me and somebody not cool and that's a closed chapter in my life, I don't look for you anymore. So they watched my story, and we're gonna call her Rachel. Rachel reaches out to me and goes, hey Star, I feel like you should hit Sophie up so you guys can talk. And I'm like, huh? Because in my head I'm like, why are you being funny? Because if you turned around and you had sent this to Sophie, there's no reason for me to turn around and reach out to Sophie if she saw my thing. If she saw it and she wanted to talk, she could hit me up. Like, there's no reason for me to go and chase after her or whatever. She's like, yeah, reach out to her. I said, girl, I don't even know her Instagram. Mind you, I saw the Instagram name in my watch list or whatever. So she's like, nah, you guys should really talk, smooth everything out. I said, girl, I have no beef with the girl. We just not friends. Like, that's just the bottom line. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. And she was like, yeah, I know, but I feel like, I was like, honestly, truthfully, you can tell Sophie to hit me up and I'll talk to her. There's no ill blood. There's nothing. There's no hate on my part. Like, I can't hate nobody. That's really the bottom line. I'm like, just tell Sophie, hit me up. Why don't you hit her up? Girl, I haven't spoken to her in how long? I didn't do nothing to this girl. Stop dragging it now. So, turned around. My bro hits me up. He was like, yeah, I feel like you should talk to Sophie. I said, bro, just tell Sophie to reach out to me, because now it's starting to blow my mind. Like, I didn't even want to do the gathering anymore because I felt like people were just being dramatic for no reason. I feel like in this day and age, a lot of people don't know how to be mature and people are just childish. And that's why they were dragging this out, because they really expected me to still be angry at this girl. And I'm like, bro, I'm in a good place in my life. I'm happy. My career is flourishing. I'm doing great for myself. Why would I sit down and still be harboring bad feelings for this girl? Like, I'm gooch, bro. I'm gooch. So eventually she did hit me up, and when she did hit me up, it wasn't some condescending type shit, you feel me? So I was like, Then she was like, yeah, can we meet up to talk? She wanna like air everything out or whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool, no problem. We met up, we sat down, we talked. Let me tell you, sis was still fake, bro. She was still fake. That's the crazy part. So we meet up to talk, and this girl literally lied to my face. Not one, not two, but 10 times. And I'm gonna let y'all in on something. This is the type of person I am. I feel as though, honestly, truthfully, when me and people have disagreements and if we meet up to talk, I'm recording the conversation. I'm recording the conversation because nobody's gonna walk away and said, oh, Star said and I said and it was like this. No. This is what I said. I said what I said. And if that's not what I said, that's not what I said. So met up and talked to her. The girl lied to my face. Why did I stop moving? The girl lied to my face countless times. She said that the New Year's Eve, when she was at the friend's party, she wasn't talking about me. She was talking about somebody else. I really commend her though for holding on to that lie for all these years. I really commend her because my mom always said a lie I had no memory, and sis remembered that lie. So we talked or whatever, and she lied about that. She said how one of her friends had convinced her weeks later to reach out to me about the situation. Bro. Yo, bro. We literally talked on New Year's Day. After she posted them things at 12 midnight, we spoke New Year's Day. You guys saw the timestamp. Y'all saw the receipts. We spoke that day. So when she said that she waited a couple of days to talk to me, that's how I knew she was lying. And I don't think she realized she called herself in a lie. Like, the whole conversation was redundant. She kept lying to me. So in my defense, like, I can't trust people who lie to me. Like, you're a grown woman. We were what, 24? This is before I turned 25 last year. You're 24 years old. You're an adult. You don't have to answer back to anybody. You're not accountable. Nobody's accountable for you. You are accountable for your own actions. Why are you still lying and harboring something that happened when we were 21? Like, it doesn't make sense. So we sat down, we talked. It was maybe about, I want to say, a 2-hour long conversation, literally. So we sat down, we talked, recorded the whole conversation, bro, with no shame. Like, if she ever asks me if I recorded the conversation, I'll tell her, yeah, I did. I'm pretty sure she recorded the conversation too, because I wouldn't blame her. Because I know her friends wanted to know, yo, how the convo went with you and Star. Sat down there and we talked for hours. We ended up taking the same bus home because we still live 2 blocks away from each other. And it was just really like weird and uncomfortable. You get what I'm saying? But at the same time, like, I'm not gonna show that. I'm not gonna display that because I have a tendency to like show my emotions on my face, and I'm really working on that because it's not really a good trait. It's not. So baby girl lied to my face. The meetup for our 10-year anniversary from graduating from middle school never happened. Not mad about it, not sad about it. Everything happens for a reason. And after that conversation, it just went nowhere. It literally went nowhere. I just feel as though things happen. This is the end of the story. I'm finishing my face. I feel as though things happen for a reason. I feel as though, will I ever be friends with this girl again? Probably not, because the fact is you've never apologized to me. And I told her when we had that conversation that day, I said, honestly, truthfully, I don't care if you apologize to me or not. Your mother owes my mother an apology. She said, yeah, I'll talk to my mom and she'll definitely apologize to your mom, this, that, and the third. Ask me if her mom ever apologized to my mom, bro. Never happened. Never happened. So I say this to say, like, sometimes you gotta be observant, pay attention, be vigilant with who you allow into your space, who you allow to share your energy with, who you hold on to. My mom taught me, and sometimes, like, you have to see things for yourself. Not everybody is meant to be your friend forever. Some people are only meant to be here for a season. They have their reason. They have their purpose that they were meant to uphold in your life. And when that time runs out, it is time for them to exit your life gracefully. I'm gonna try and do this thing where I tell stories and I give an overthought of how I feel about the situation, not from a mature standpoint, and what I feel like you could learn and grow from. So let me go back. So I feel as though when people serve their purpose in your life, don't be upset that it's time for them to go. Absolutely not. Don't be upset, because when people want to leave your life and disappear on you, they don't feel bad for it. They don't. You gotta worry about yourself and your mental health at the end of the day. So me and her not being friends, like, did it hurt my feelings for a while? Hell yeah, it did. Hell freaking yeah. That was my best friend. Like, she would then come home from college and spend basically the whole summer at my house. Like, sis literally lived at my house. I'm not gonna hold you. Did I have a problem with it? No, because me and my best friend didn't see each other all the time. So yeah, bro. It's just crazy how you can go from being friends with somebody to being a complete stranger to them, like, or they could be a complete stranger to you. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So turned around, not friends anymore, not even strangers anymore. We don't run in the same circles at all, nothing like that. It's just a different space. It's just a different type of vibe, a different energy. It's so different. Do I miss her sometimes? Honestly, truthfully, I'm not gonna lie to you. There have been times where I'm like, wow, I wonder how she's doing, you know? Like, I think about people often. That doesn't mean I'm gonna hit you up though, but I think about people often. I'm gonna go back to my eyes. Yeah, I think about people often. Like, I feel like it's not human if you don't, you know? So yeah, I think about her often. I haven't thought about her in a while till I said on my story that I was gonna do this story. But yeah, I feel as though she really did talk. Even though she lied to my face, she did like show some type of growth in her own personal life, which I am happy about, because I feel like it's very important that we as individuals continue to grow, mature, evolve. You can't stay stagnant and stay in the same place all your life, you know? So seeing that she matured in different aspects and realized that she was wrong in certain situations was beautiful to understand, you know, and to talk about. But that's literally it. If we end up having a reunion in the future and she comes, I have no problem with that. I'll still say hello. I'll still be cordial. Ain't no reason for me to be disrespectful out here in these streets. You feel me? Ain't no reason. I have my own life that I'm living. I'm a whole mom now. Like, my priorities are different. I'm not saying that to be like shady or shysty or anything, but that's really the truth. Like, ain't no reason holding on to bad feelings or anything. Like, and if she sees this video or somebody sends this video to her, honestly, Sophie, from the bottom of my heart, I don't mean this story time with any malice or anything. I'm just sharing a story about my past and how I felt that you treated me as a friend. Were there good times in our friendship? Absolutely. Absolutely. Not because our friendship ended did that mean that I turned around and I questioned everything that transpired through our friendship. Absolutely not, because you could tell when somebody's being genuine, or you could tell when they're being ingenuine. But I would say, for like your other friends, I really hope that you're nicer to people now. Like, I definitely do. Because sometimes looking back, I feel as though like I was in an abusive friendship, because I felt like sometimes I went above and beyond. Not that that's a problem, but the abuse is a problem. But I'm saying, like, going above and beyond for a friend, that should never be an issue. That should never be a problem. But I'm just saying, like, it's crazy how times have changed. Back then, back in 2017, I would have never thought that I'll be sitting in 2020 telling you guys a story about the time my best friend was fake to me. I would never thought that I would be sitting here in 2020 and me and Sophie not friends no more. Like, I could have never seen that. Like, we were always together to the point that my sisters that I'm always with, that I'm always talking to, that I'm always sharing on social media, I would never have been as close as I am with them now. Like, we've talked about it, like, yo, Star, you really like alienated yourself. You weren't really there anymore. And it's true. I don't think we would have been as close. Yeah, we were besties from back then and we were sisters from back then, but I feel like me and Sophie's friendship ending, wow, that's crazy. This is a revelation right now. I feel like me and Sophie's friendship ending kind of brought me closer with my sisters, you feel me? That's so crazy. That's really so crazy. But yeah, that's the story time on the time my best friend was fake. In this video, and you report back to Sophie and you tell her how, oh yeah, Star made a story because she hates you. It's not true. Definitely don't hate you, baby girl. And it kind of feels good finally being able to tell this story, because I've held it on my chest for so long, and you guys are open to leaving your opinions on the situation, the story that I shared with you guys. I'm always down for hearing what you guys think about things, because I am aware, like, everybody sees things differently, everybody lives life differently, and you can't really be mad at other people's perspective on things, you know? So if somebody viewed this story in a different way, if somebody thinks that I'm wrong about the story, somebody thinks that I took my boyfriend's side with the way she did things, with the way she went about things, even though she did put a hit out on him, thank God he wasn't harmed, you know? Thank God nobody knew where he lived. And thank God he didn't come to my house that weekend. But yeah, if somebody wants to comment and let me know what they think about the story, if we can get this story up to maybe, let's say, 25 likes, I'll post a story about Auntie's wig. Like, that story is hilarious. It'll be a shorter story, so I'll probably just sit here, drink some tea, tell you guys that story. But yeah, I don't even think I want to put highlight on, to be honest. This is cute. This is really a cute look. If you guys don't feel like she was being a fake friend, y'all can also comment that too. I'm down to hear what you guys think about the situation. I just feel like the whole situation was nuts. It was really, really crazy. It could have been avoided. I felt like communication is definitely very, very important, and we ain't had that, so that's why we here now. But this lip gloss is hella cute. I'm about to show you all. This is in the shade Glitz. This is from Persico Cosmetics. I think I'm gonna wear this by itself. Should I do a liner? Nah. I don't want it to do too much. Let's see. Yeah, it needs a liner. Wow, I didn't put no highlight on, and this looks so cute. And I don't even do my makeup like this. Honestly, I think when I do these story times, I'm gonna do my makeup in different ways. This is how I used to do my makeup, to be honest. This is honestly a look. The freak. I gotta go feed Z in a second, because I hear her fussing my boobs. I don't know if any other moms out there, but like, when your baby cries, do you feel your boobs tingle? This is the final look. I have my locks under here because I don't feel cute today with my locks. That's probably why I did my makeup too. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to your girl Star's story time. Oh, I didn't put lashes on. Look at me, fiending. I don't even know what my lash glue is. Oh, I know what my lash glue is. Hold on. Okay. The lashes are on. The earrings are on. Baby, it's a look. I'm gonna do my slow-mos for the one time, for the ones and twos. I haven't done slow-mos in so long, bro. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to your girl Starryluuv TV. We out, we lit. Be back with the content. Bow. It's on. I'm gonna show more of myself because I feel like nobody knows who I am as a person, and I'm honestly a clown. Literally a clown. And bye.